Ahoy there, and welcome to Off Grid Bound. Over there is our cabin, but I can't show it to you now because it would be a major spoiler. In spring of 2021, in the middle of a global pandemic, we bought a piece of land at a gorgeous lake in North Vancouver Island. This remote, rugged region on the west coast of Canada is covered with dense forests, with fast rivers and pristine lakes. This is a story how we went from that to this, to this, to this, to a dried-in, locked-up cabin. I hope you'll enjoy the ride. We immediately fell in love with this beautiful land, but had only a vague idea of what to do. We knew we wanted a quiet place on the lake where we could relax, enjoy nature, and take a break from our busy lives. Well, we had a thing coming.
So much forest. Oh my gosh.
The property line might go kind of this direction. This is the direction going back. It soon became clear that this was going to be a major project. Just finding the boundaries of our land took some serious bushwhacking. Luckily, we did find some local help. Larry had just the piece of machinery that could do the hardest work. Soon he cleared a patch of our land so we could at least enjoy a campfire and some hearty, if not healthy, food. Most jobs couldn't be done with heavy equipment though, so it was time for us to roll up the sleeves and get working. By early summer, we had that quiet spot we had been dreaming about. After a lot of manual work and many paints, we realized that to keep going, we would need our own machinery. Something strong enough to pull logs, but small enough to navigate the forest. A compact tractor, maybe? It was a bit tricky to transport the tractor to a remote place over 500 kilometers away. We managed to load it into a U-haul truck and were on our way. With the tractor in its new home, we started preparing for a future cabin build. The rainy season was fast approaching. We built a shed to store our tools and equipment: shovels, picks, ladders, and the tractor. Encouraged by our success, we added storage space closer to the lake. We left our little paradise with a peace of mind that all was dry and secure. Until our next visit. Clearly, dry was going to be both relative and quite rare, but we were prepared. Success! Yay! Or so we thought. Early fall brought enough rain so that the lake water level rose by over 5 feet. Well, I guess we won't be making any fire this winter, not here. When we first got here, it was really thick forest and hard to walk through, so we did some cleaning and we filled some of the big holes. We kept cleaning fallen trees and debris during the fall, continued making plans, and looked forward to things to come in the next year. Our building pad was not very large, so we used all kinds of tools to make sure the cabin we wanted would fit. LiDAR was my new best friend. We wrapped the season tired, but happy that all was going great, until 2 months later. And we came for a visit, and this is what we found. The shed turned out to have a critical flaw, and its collapse was a big setback. We needed to rethink our winter plans. Luckily, we still had the second shed, which we repurposed for a temporary sleepover cabin. You can't have enough comfort when camping in the woods by a mountain lake with winter temperature near freezing. As the winter was slowly going away, our cabin ideas started to gel. We measured and remeasured the building pad and put in preliminary markers for potential future corners. The shed collapse exposed all our tools to the elements, leaving a big mess behind, and now we had to clean it up. With spring around the corner, we hoped that the period of high winds and heavy snow was over, and we built a temporary shelter for the rest of the season. As the weather was gradually getting drier, we hired Larry again to clear a second patch of the forest, somewhat larger and higher up the mountain. Someday we hope to build a proper house there. In the meantime, our focus remained on the cabin. We purchased a sawmill and towed it 500 kilometers to our foresty land. We have plenty of beautiful cedar and hemlock logs from the land clearing work. We plan to use it as much as we can. After the high water experience, we thought of building a deck close to the water, but high enough to keep it dry-ish. But we changed our plans and decided to fill in and level the open space and to integrate it into the landscape. Working with the tractor turned out to be a real joy, as well as source of a few setbacks and some close calls. Sometimes just picking up the pieces with our hands was the faster and easier option. Other times, not so much. The spring weather was, well, spring weather. We used the sunny days to fix up leaks and the rainy days to design our cabin. We settled on a post and beam log construction on an 18 by 24 foot foundation and with a loft. Nice and cozy, but with enough room for hobbies and guests.
That is
This is going to stand right here. Things were now moving along fast. By the late spring, we built a gazebo for the times we would need to take a shelter while building the cabin. The temporary shelter could now be dismantled and its contents moved to a more rigid structure. We were now able to relocate our summer camp and start preparing the build part. Let's get going! By early summer, our preparations were in full swing. We figured out the final layout for the cabin foundation and got down to work.
This is it.
The scariest moment of our project is about to take place. We are going to dig.
Let's do it.
Digging out the foundation went surprisingly fast. It took me about 12 hours on our tractor, much less than I anticipated. This is a very exciting time. We are starting to do the foundation for the cabin. How this is going to turn out, who knows, but I have hope. And just like that, the cabin build was on. We used ICFs, integrated concrete forms. They are stacked like Lego to build a shell for the concrete that would then form the perimeter walls. To form the posts for an overhang roof, we used traditional sonotube forms. Alright, now for real, it's all ready, and tomorrow is the big day. A little bit of drama happened around getting the concrete pumper and mixer tracks in place. All is good that ends good, so here we just show the success. You can enjoy the dramatic parts in a separate video. Oh, Marco! From now on, things should start moving pretty fast. And so they did. All the joists are in place, and in a couple of hours we can just climb up and go to have a little dance. This is our floor, and this is the edge of the building. It's time to call the inspector.
Let's see, gentlemen. Wow.
It took all of 5 weeks from breaking ground to having a foundation. But the magic was still to happen. The crane is really precipitously placed right there at the edge of the road. These guys are really adventurous. They charged me with unhooking the logs here, so we'll see how that goes. Based on our design, the final blueprint of our post and beam log cabin was drafted by North Log Homes near Nanaimo.
This is an adventure for sure. Wow, when it starts moving, it is moving, I'll tell you that.
I know.
They cut all the logs at their yard, brought them to our side, and did I say that magic was going to happen? Let's just enjoy the show.
All I want in this whole life, a little red house in a country wife, a picnic table out on the lawn, a couple of kids and a couple of dogs. Work all day to 5:30, chain link fence and gravel drive. I'm ringing on my front porch, a brand new carpet on every floor, and a rope swing tied around a limb of a tall oak tree. It don't sound like much, but it sure is heaven to me. A big bathtub in my bathroom, microwave, dishwasher too. The folks say hi when they pass on the street. A clean pair of socks every day of the week. A big soft chair for when I'm old. Tackle box and a fishing pole. I don't care about the fortune or fame. I just don't wanna know my mailman's name. At Christmas time, gonna leave him a gingerbread cookie. It don't sound like much, but it sure is heaven to me. Every now and then go on a vacation, big radio and a country station, hot dog grill in the noonday sun, drink a little beer, boy, have a little fun. Some folks worry about
Even with the occasional interruptions forced upon the crew by torrential downpour, the entire frame was built in 2 half days. in a total of 9 hours. Look at this log. We took a few days break, but soon resumed the work on the cabin. We filled in the walls with 2x6 framing and plywood and installed roof rafters to make the structure solid. I truly enjoyed this process. The weather was good, work went fast, and I felt every muscle in my body. But the sense of a real accomplishment made all the pain melt away.
Okay, now I'm playing down like
No, it don't sound like much, but sure is helping me.
Step by step, the dream of having a quiet place in Canadian wilderness was becoming reality. This is the brace that is now going out, and we will finish that window. And finish that window.
Yeah, I will finish our window. That was easy.
Roof, the rafters have come up quite nicely. All in all, really nice progress. We try to do as much work as possible, but there are stages of the cabin build that we just don't have the skills, experience, or time to do ourselves. Don't try this at home. Some things are just best left to professionals. The high wire acts 20 feet up in the air are some of those things. By late summer, the sheeting was done, the skylights and the roof membrane were installed, and we were ready to install the roof metal, just in time before bad weather moved in. Once more, I hired professional help while I was running around giving a hand when needed and fighting supply chain challenges such as getting the right kind of windows in time for winter. We were finally able to install the windows in the middle of October.
Hey, it's fixed. It's a miracle.
Anybody having fun yet? Well, so are we. I hope that if you are following our channel that you are enjoying it too, and if you do, please like and subscribe. I thought that this would be a good point to do a little bit of recap and review of what we have done so far After a year and a half of hard work, we had a dried-in cabin. The weather started changing fast, but we needed to come back one more time to tie some loose ends. There is the cabin and there is the trees. We locked up the cabin just as the first snow fell. All was good in the universe. In a future video, not too far away, we will start another season and you can continue following our progress. As always, thank you for watching, and until the next time, we are off-grid bound.